Once again, hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. What's good, what's good, what's good? So, we're going to start off with a story that was broken last night or broken yesterday, right? But I couldn't find enough information about it to put it out there. Somebody had mentioned, I forgot who it was, and it's really bothering me that I forgot who it was. Was it Deep Bluey or I can't remember who it was, but one of the subscribers to the channel had brought up, hey, Fidelity is launching Solana, and indeed, I've been able to verify that they have added Solana to Fidelity Digital Assets integration. That's big news for Solana because there's big talk about Solana being able to actually handle tokenization and get in on that market. They currently have about $678 million. Is it million? Yeah, $678 million in tokenized assets. Now, given how big that space is, that's not even a drop in a bucket, but still, they're in the game. They have not been, for as far as I can tell, they have not been down for a long time. My issue, so I had a couple of issues. One, I had an issue with their network gremlin, and it looks like it might have been solved. I don't necessarily want to put my stamp of approval on that until there's a little bit more time because I've been fooled before. The other one is they don't seem, well, two things. They don't seem to have strong management at the top of the helm. Three is I don't trust their so-called decentralization. So they might have satisfied the network one, but those two others remain. When you can have a co-founder of Solana drop a project and say, hey, everybody go use it, blah, 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 and then have to backtrack and say, oh, it's not an official project. It was just an AI test. Really? So, yeah. So I have a problem with that. But that doesn't mean that people can't make money from Solana. So I'm bringing that up just so that we can bring that full circle. Then you've got U.S. bank reserves dropping to a 12-month low. Why is that important? Because it's under $3 trillion. Why is that important? Because it affects banks. Why is that important? Is because the first place people are going to look are the regional banks. And that's already been messy this year with a couple of failures that trickled all the way back up to some major banks like Jefferies. Not that Jefferies had a problem, but Jefferies was linked to it. RBA, the Reserve Bank of Australia. Governor Michelle Bullock outlines modernization plans that could leverage BEX systems. So we'll see what happens because that could mean old tech. I know they want to get over that whole old tech thing and see what happens, but I think I'd rather hear about, I know you want to upgrade systems, but I want to hear about the system, about the technology that you're interested in, right? That can actually have positive impact for you. So that's something that's going on right there. Japan's inflation rose to 2.9%. Why is that a big deal? Well, because it's the first time that it's risen in 5 months. That's what makes it a big deal. It's the first time that Japan's inflation has risen in 5 months. That's what makes that significant. Custodia Bank and Vantage Bank launch a patent-protected blockchain solution for tokenized deposits compatible with stablecoins, bridging legacy and crypto systems. I don't know, but do you recall 2 weeks ago that I said that Citi, one of the biggest banks in the world, well, in the United States, actually said, hey, tokenized deposits are kind of where we're looking. And there you go. There you go. Just saying. Major banks secure a $38 billion debt deal to fund Oracle's AI data centers. That's a big deal because those AI data centers are going to consume energy. And I haven't heard about real energy deals, except that the energy secretary is saying that they might fast track getting these new data centers onto the grid. Yeah, you're fast tracking them getting onto the grid, but I don't hear you fast tracking, renewable energy, which is the fastest thing to stand up. Just wondering how that plays out in your head, that we need energy and you shut down, energy production, especially green energy production capabilities. You're not going to grow with oil. You're not going to grow with coal. How do you think you're going to grow? Just wondering. Just asking for a friend, if you will. just the things that you hear. It's amazing. Then you have decentralized perpetual trading hits $1 trillion in volume in October 2020, since October 2023, driven by platforms like Hyperliquid and 24/7 trading and DeFi adoption. Yeah, 2025 has been a hot year. A hot year. Just saying, we should probably pay attention to this. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Why is that important? Because it's the little bits of news that you start to be able to string together pearls of information that might help you actually grow your bag. Knowledge is power. And the first investment, that's why I tell you guys every morning, don't forget to invest in yourself today, because the first investment is in you. That's the big deal. That really is the big deal. That's what I do every day, and that's what I share with you. What else do we have going on? Bitcoin's derivatives markets reach record highs with $63 billion in open interest for BTC options. Yeah. The crypto space is not a fledgling space anymore. It's a burgeoning one. And you might want to pay attention and show it some respect by doing your own research, knowing your entries and exits, and absolutely investing deliberately. That's what I mean by showing it some respect. You can't just stick your finger in the air and think you're going to pick out where the wind is blowing from. That doesn't always work. And in most cases, it's already too late. Remember, by the time that breeze hits you, it's already been blowing. Just saying. Things that you can be paying attention to that can actually help you. Then you've got the crypto market preparing for a delayed CPI report that's supposed to come out today, right? And we're probably looking at the next meeting being an interest rate cut and then probably another one in December. Those are the odds. Agree or disagree, I can honestly say I kind of see those odds ringing kind of true. Right? U.S. government shutdown is still hurting. Temper tantrum out of the new regime has negotiations between the U.S. and Canada dropping again. Called them off because of an ad that one of the areas of Canada was going to run or is running in the United States. Over an ad by a province, and that's what you're going to cry about. We depend on Canada for hell a lot. Like I said before, we depend on Canada for energy for 5 states, or energy across 5 states. Michigan, New York. See what I'm saying? It's not just everything else. And you want to cry because an ad was going to be run. Childish. Very childish. And it's going to affect all of our bags. We're already paying more for food. There are other things that come through Canada that we're probably going to wind up, actually, that I know we're going to start paying more for. It's ridiculous. There comes a point. And I also believe that if the government is shut down, nobody in Congress and nobody out of the executive branch should be receiving a paycheck. That's my humble opinion. If regular workers, the people that actually get it done every day, are not getting checks, then none of them should be getting checks. It's that simple. That simple. You want to put people out of work? You have federal workers, people that would normally be at the office right now, or getting ready to go to the office today, that are on food lines. You should be embarrassed. You should be ashamed. People standing on food lines. You want to know something? Truth is, we always run around talking about we're the richest country in the world. Nobody should be standing on a food line for food from a pantry. Nobody. Nobody should be homeless. We shouldn't be so greedy that we can't put food in front of people and put roofs over their heads. Just saying, my humble opinion. Because, and if you think that's a political statement, it's not a political statement. That everything that's going on right now affects our bags. I try to be really strict on myself to say, remove the politics. Remove the politics. Stick to economic damage or economic blossoming. Whatever the case is, stick to the value. And right now, we're hurting our value. We're hurting our value here in the United States, and we're hurting our value, or the United States value as a whole, globally. Globally. We need to fix this. There shouldn't be government shutdowns. That's ridiculous. A government shutdown should not be used by any party to do what it's doing right now. And we definitely shouldn't be sending out money to another country when we have not fixed everything inside our country. I'm pretty sure $40 billion would have gone a long way. I'm pretty sure $172 million, instead of getting a couple of planes, that $172 million could have gone a long way. Roofs overhead, food on table, training for future jobs. Just saying. It's amazing what's going on. Let's see, what else do we have? Crypto M&A activity exceeds $10 billion in Q3 of this year. It's a high. Remember what I told you? The great consolidation and the great culling is coming. First sign. You're going to see more about that. You're going to see a lot more happen. Animoca Brand secures Dubai's first crypto brokerage license, expanding its Web3 presence in reshaping the Middle Eastern digital finance. Let me tell you something. The Middle East knows that oil is not the future, and they're investing in other places. Yeah. Let that wash over you. Oil is not the future. They're going to start investing in other places. It's going to be a big deal. So while the rest of the world is investing in renewables, we're still falling behind. We're stopping renewable projects. You want to know where those renewable projects are? A lot of them. Middle America, red states. Silly. It would help the whole nation. Just saying, we need adults in the room. We really do need adults in the room. Solana company HSDT partners with Helios Labs and TwinStake to launch non-custodial staking services, managing $396 million in Sol holdings. That's going to be interesting to see how that business grows or doesn't. It's just going to be interesting to see it play out. But that's a bold move. Yes, no, I like bold moves. I really do. What else do we have? Signum and Devify launch Multisig, a BTC lending platform allowing borrowers to retain assets while accessing institutional grade services. Now that's going to be big. Remember what I told you? I pay attention to infrastructure moves. I just gave you 2 of them. I've given you a few today, but these are examples of why I pay attention to infrastructure moves. Everybody's preparing for the normalization of crypto to be used in everyday life. I'm hoping that retail wakes up. Because if they don't, retail is going to wake up one day and all of a sudden crypto is going to be everywhere. They're just going to be like, oh my God, where was I? Oh, you were out buying stuff instead of investing. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. I had a conversation with one of my friends the other day, and we were speaking about investing. And I said, you want to know, everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people that come to this country, immigrants to this country, come here and they're so acutely focused at achieving a better life. From other countries to here, sometimes for people, it is just being here is a better life. But then they hunker down. In the 1970s, and I use this all the time, in the 1970s, the Patels showed up. 4 Patels, family, showed up bought a motel, lived in the motel, ran the motel, was able to actually offer lower rates than everybody else. And while everybody was going broke, they were thriving. Thriving enough that a cousin was able to move out and family helped him get that hotel. Family lived there, family ran it. Family did everything. Yeah, offering lower rates. And they just kept going from the 1970s to now. Some of the largest brands that you've ever heard of. Hilton, Marriott. Yeah, Patel. Family focus is a big deal. I walk by some neighborhoods, even in the suburbs, where you've got huge families crammed in, living together. And then one by one, each family member moves out. Having their own store, having their own business, giving back to the family, always giving back to the family so that everybody in the family can get their own. You don't see that a lot here in the United States. You used to. You don't see it a lot now. And maybe that's one of the problems that we need to stop and say, you know what, if we pool our services, if we pool our resources rather, we'd be able to actually achieve more and everybody grows. Yeah. That's the plan. Like, I don't want my kids to move out of the house until they can get their own. Stay here, make your money, and when you're ready, then move out. Food will be here. Roof over head will be here. No additional bills for you. Some people say, oh, well, they should give to the house and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be totally frank with you. In this day and age, I would rather my kids stay now than have to come back later. I'd rather see them get strong now. Get strong now so that they can weather their own storms later. You got to start them early. Teach them how to do their own research. Explain to them to know their entries and exits. And teach them how to absolutely invest deliberately. That's where we need to be. Just saying. And I believe that crypto is one of those investments where we can help the kids get there. Crypto, stocks, bonds, options, business. Yeah, you can buy into a business. Maybe the family gets together and they buy a laundromat. People will always need clean clothes. People will scrounge around to find that money to wash their clothes. Hard to find work, hard to do work when you're running around smelling like nothing nice. Just saying. There are ways that you can do it. Excuses? No time for that anymore. All done. All done. But you know what we should do? That's right. We should get into the numbers. Let me get my notes out of the way. Dow futures expected open 56 points up. S&P futures implied open 20.5 points up. NASDAQ futures expected open 127.25 points up. Oil is up 0.09. US 10-year is up 0.019. Just saying, it's interesting. For earnings, who do we have today? Procter & Gamble, HCA Healthcare, General Dynamics Corporation, Booz Allen Hamilton, Alaska Air Group. That's interesting. First Financial. So you have some lower tier companies, but they're still big. These are still billion-dollar companies, right? They're still billion-dollar companies that we should be paying attention to. And the reason why is because it's going to be a big deal when you look at it across the board from an economic perspective. How is the economy doing? That's why you pay attention to this. Now imagine if every quarter you didn't get company reporting. Imagine if that moved to, I don't know, semi-annually. Really? Interesting. In the United States, happens overseas. Doesn't happen here. I don't know why. I don't know why I still have that page up. Fear and greed index moved from 27 to 30 today, but we're still in high fear. DeFi Llama, we're up from 150 yesterday to $152.461 billion in total value locked. That's huge. That's an over $2 billion move. Looking at, that's the wrong one. This is not what I wanted to look at. Why did it change my report? I wonder if... Yeah, no, it doesn't have my report today. I'm going to have to fix it later. Sorry about that, guys. But apparently it shows the wrong report. That's a pain in the tail. I'm praying I don't have to rebuild that whole report again, because that would be annoying, to say the least. That would be mad annoying. Anyway, I'll have to get it tomorrow. I will have to get it tomorrow, see if we can fix this. But yeah, this is not good. This is not what report with looking for my report with BTC and all that other good stuff. So yeah, we'll get back to this. Actually, let me see if I can do it now. BTC. Yep. There you go. So it does remember that. I have to get rid of this. I think that is PAX G, but I'm not going to be able to get rid of it right now. But you can basically see, move this over. So right now, technically what you're looking at is an overlay of PAX G over Bitcoin, right? PAX G being gold. Pay no mind to that, because I really didn't have anything prepared to talk about it, but you can see how it's moving. Anyway, what we've got is, at least we're moving in the right direction when it comes to Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now being within my lines, or within my band, which is 109,337 to 123,572, I believe. So that's actually a good thing that we're back within that band instead of being below it. That was a big fight to get from down here to up here. Now we just need to keep that momentum. I'm thinking that CPI numbers could actually have a big impact on that. I'm also thinking it's going to be hard to actually come out with bad, with bad CPI numbers. And the reason why? New regime. I'll say it like that. Looking at the big board, yeah, there are still ways that you could be making money here. Still ways to be making money. Everything that I said yesterday that I like the coins that I like, still holds true today. I'm seeing it. Link, Doge, SHIB, Solana's up from where we were yesterday. It was at $180. Now it's at $191. Just saying, pointing it out for you. HBAR not doing so well, but I think it's still good. XRP, I think it's still good. There are just a lot of things. Do your own research. Know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. But to me, everything's still on sale. If it's under, for me right now, today, for my risk framework, if it's under its all-time high, it's a viable opportunity. It's just, now you've got to figure out how viable is it and what's the probability. That's when you say, oh, that's a bad call or a good call. Because it could be below its all-time high, right? But then its probability of achieving that could be low, which puts you lower down on the priority list, right? So you have different factors for that math, at least when I look at it. High probability that it's going to reach its all-time high again. High probability that it goes beyond its all-time high, right? What percentage is that? And I do math for all that. I run math for all of it, right? So that's kind of what I'm looking at, is how do we do that? How do we pull that off? Just saying. There are things that we've got to do, and there are ways that we can do it. It all comes down to, in this case, for me, it comes all down to math. I try to leave my emotion out of it. It comes down to math, and then I look at news. And then I look at the flow of a coin, the rhythm of a coin, right? Because how that news is going to hit that coin depends on the rhythm of the coin. That's why I'm paying close attention. That's one of the reasons why. Then if you look at this board, everything's red right now, but they were green before. Just saying. We just looked at the big board and you can see everything was kind of up, and it still says the same thing. This is still giving me the rhythm of the coin, the 1 hour, 24 hour, 7 day, 30 day, 60 day, 90 day, year to date. It's still giving me the rhythm of a coin. But remember, it's a moving rhythm. It's always in motion. So handle your math accordingly. All right. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor, smash the likes, tell your friends about this community, because this is not a channel. It's a community. It really, really is. We interact with each other. We do a whole bunch of things. And we've got more coming. Ooh, tonight I should be able to show you guys some stuff. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you have a good one. See you tonight on Friday Flips, where just about anything can go with regard to into investment. You can ask me almost anything when it comes to investment, and I'll tell you what my opinion is. All right? Everybody have a great day. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye-bye.